Luis, we have talked about it. We've vibe checked it. We have predicted who was going to be in it. We have done just about everything there is to do when it comes to the Elimination Chamber. It is time to finally predict these fucking matches. Because this is going to be a great PLE. I'm liking the way it's shaping up. I'm excited about almost all of the matches.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think that this is going to be a really strong show. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We will start with the match that I am admittedly not as excited for because I feel like we're kind of running in place.
I'm dead.
Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus going up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, everything to do with Tiffany is for later down the line, her and Charlotte. That's all kind of set in stone. So this match really is just kind of this weird kind of filler. Obviously, Trish, Canadian, hometown chick, kind of trying to pop the crowd, I guess, bring out a legend. Nia and Candice and Tiffany have had this whole storyline going on for a while, ever since Tiffy was holding the Money in the Bank. Like, it's been a long time that those three have had a thing going.
And Tiffy's babyface, supposedly, now.
But, yeah, like, it's just... I guess... Yeah, it's one of the things that helps solidify Tiffany as a babyface, which, you know, for the casual audience, great. But the match overall... I just don't see how it's going to have a massive impact in anything going. Like, it just feels like it's there to be there. I'm sure it'll be fun. Great. It'll get, like, a good crowd reaction, I would assume, because you've got Trish in there, Canadian, and the Tiffany, obviously, is just super over. But I don't know. I guess it just feels like I said, running in place a bit. Like, I just don't know why this had to be put on the show. I wish that with Triple H's creative, which gets a lot of praise and a lot of it's justified, I wish that on a show like this, which is such a huge, huge show, literally the last PLE before Mania, that every match would have felt like it was there for a reason.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is kind of the odd one out for me. All that being said, we got to pick a winner. I don't know if it's that difficult to feel like it's
Tiffy.
Not gonna be Nia and Candice. I could say that.
Tiffy time.
Let me just put that on there.
Trish time.
Tiffy and Tiffy. Yeah, I figured we'd be in agreement on that one. It's just not, you know,
Filler.
It's not that deep.
Filler.
Yeah.
PLE.
Now, what's crazy is besides that match, we've got heat. We go from like a here to like a fucking here instantly.
Yeah.
Because we have what is easily a WrestleMania caliber, maybe even WrestleMania main event caliber, depending on who you're asking, level match here with Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned, I don't even know if I could call it a match. I kind of want to call it a war. So, I have been loving the build to this match. I have been loving this shit.
On this shit.
It's been super interesting. Obviously, they've been little nudge, wink, winks at their older shit that they've done in the past. It hit a different level, though. Which is kind of the thing that some of their older feuds were arguably missing, was the outside of the ring stuff.
Oh my god. Man.
Like their Ring of Honor shit and stuff like that. The matches themselves are phenomenal, and there are some really good promos in there, but the WWE promo style allows you to go a lot further than any other wrestling promotion except, I guess, AEW. So, the places that they've been able to take this in the last week. On SmackDown, we have Kevin Owens responding to the challenge, because obviously it was just Sami Zayn talking to Adam Pearce on the previous episode of Raw.
Match?
Asking for the match. offers the unsanctioned match to Sammy. He says he wants it. So then the next SmackDown, we get Kevin Owens' response, and it's another one of these cell phone selfie video things. And initially, it just looks like he's outside again, like in some random area, like all of them have been.
Mm-hmm.
The background, honestly, was insignificant to me at first. I wasn't even paying attention because
behind like a bush or some shit.
It's just the same shit that he's been doing, just in front of some wall somewhere, whatever. This is the regular Kevin Owens promo at this point, the way he's been doing things over the last month or two. And then he starts talking about family and Sammy's family. And just so I can walk you through my thought process, because this all happened quickly. Like, he starts mentioning the family, and just before he pans the camera over, I start thinking, like, damn, he's even mentioning Sammy's family. That's pretty crazy. Like, he's pretty private about a lot of that stuff. Like, he's not one of these dudes who's, like, you know, he doesn't have, like, a wrestler wife or anything. Like, you know, he's a family dude, and I feel like he takes all of that stuff very seriously, very personal guy. He comes across that way, to me at least. So just the fact that Kevin was even mentioning that stuff, I was like, damn, like, he's going pretty deep. And then the camera starts to pan, and he's filming through the window, and we see Sammy with his wife and his child in there.
That shit was fucking...
And I shit you not,
that
dude.
Was cinema, bro.
I had to pick my jaw up off of the floor.
That was cinema, bro.
I was absolutely stunned. I was getting visions of, like, Brian Pillman back in the Attitude Era pulling the pistol out and shit. Like, this is the type of shit that you just don't see in wrestling that often.
Kevin Owens, that is his fucking mind, bro.
And the remarkable thing about it is it doesn't feel forced, like they're just trying to do some edgy shit for the sake of it. If you're really invested in this storyline and you know how deep the shit goes, this is one of those cases where it's, like, not justified, but you can mentally, like, understand how someone going through the things that in kayfabe KO has gone through would be, like, pushed to a point of doing such fucking mentally insane stuff. You know what I mean? And so I loved it so much because it showed how dark Kevin was willing to go. It showed how personal this feud was to both of them. Like, it really elevated this shit in a way that I feel like it didn't even necessarily need, but as soon as it happened, I was just like, holy shit, like, this is next level. But that wasn't even it, Luis. So that was on SmackDown. Then we get this most recent episode of Raw, where Sami Zayn is being interviewed, and he gets asked about that whole segment, everything that happened. And Sammy tells us that he went to Kevin's house and had a little chat with Kevin Owens' mother. And was over there to do, he said, he didn't even know what. He didn't know what his intentions were.
He was thinking a little violently.
It was such a great flip because I was assuming he was going to go off, be so offended, you know, babyface the situation out. Like, I can't believe you did that to me, blah, 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 Kevin, you've crossed the line, all this shit. But what he really showed was, no, it really is this deep. Like, even I am kind of going to a place that I don't love where I'm going. This is hitting us both in, like, a dark way. And this match is going to go to a place that neither of us will be the same.
Like, you're not ready and I'm not ready, but let's fucking do it.
The build to this match, especially after this most recent episode of Raw and SmackDown, I'm so ready. I'm so fucking ready. I have a feeling we'll get another probably little tease from KO on this episode of SmackDown, maybe even a face-to-face, potentially, on the go-home SmackDown this week, but the match itself, man, I said it when we talked about it on the last episode of the pod, that I think that this is going to be a match of the year candidate. And I after this last week of programming, I feel even more confident in saying that Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens will be one of the best WWE matches of the year, one of the best wrestling matches of the year, and one of the best matches of both of their careers, potentially. Like, this is going to be huge, man. And with that Canadian crowd, especially, the fact that it's a hometown. So like, that's why I've really come around on, like, we've talked about it. Originally, I did want it to be on Wrestlemania for the mystique of all of that. But I think this is the right call. I do think this is the right call.
Fucking lit, bro.
That hometown crowd, I really hope they get behind it in a big way. And it's like what we saw in this episode of Raw literally today, that if you have a crowd that's really behind a match, it can really elevate shit to a different level. Like, that changes things a lot. And so I have high hopes for this match. I really, really do. But now is the difficult part. I don't know who I think is going to win.
Wow.
I you know, money on the table. Money on the table. I'm going to give it to KO.
Oof. That's interesting.
I'm going to give it to KO because where his character's at is so fascinating. And him kind of taking out his best friend continues that spiral and can send him further into the madness. I feel like Sammy's character can eat pins. And that's kind of what Sami Zayn can do in WWE. And he'll just always still be Sami Zayn. I feel like that just makes sense. And then you can build towards something big for KO. And Sami can still get into that spot somehow as the underdog and have a big moment just like he did at last year's Mania. I feel like that's how I want to see it play out. But I'm like, still, like, I'm on the fence. Like, I'm certainly not upset if Sami wins. I'm very much on the fence about it. But I think I'm leaning more towards a KO win.
That's wild, but I feel it.
How are you feeling? Where are you at with it?
I feel like honestly they're gonna give it to Sammy, bruh.
Yeah?
Yeah, bruh.
Walk me through it. Why Sami?
I feel like KO's for real gonna put them through the fucking shits. Like, they're both gonna be
For
fucked
sure.
up.
For sure.
I feel like this is gonna be a match where, like, they're both out probably for, like, a few months and shit like that.
I wouldn't mind that if they really sell the match like how they did with Drew and Punk after Hell in a Cell.
I feel it's gonna be that type of deal, but I feel like Sammy's for real gonna do, like, that last fucking probably. He's probably gonna hit the pile driver on him and shit like that on a fucking ladder or some shit, bro. It's probably gonna be some crazy shit like that, and he's probably gonna hit the fucking 1, 2, 3, bro. And fucking KO is probably gonna be fucking just probably broken neck or fucking up. I'm not hoping that, of course, but yeah, bro.
Kayfabe. So where does Sami go from there after he wins the match? And KO as well. I'm curious, like, kind of how you... Because, like, how I said, I feel like you can see where Sami goes. If he loses, he's just still the underdog.
Because I fucking Karrion Kross is, like, trying to fuck with Sami a lot, even though half of his fucking squad is gone and shit like that.
This is true. Well, yeah, no, bro is kind of flying solo now. It's
no,
just
he's
him
not.
him and his girl, obviously, but
yeah.
Nah, he don't got his boys with him though. So you think it could be maybe Sami and Kross going into Mania? So you think that could be a Mania feud, or are you just saying that's where Sami? Like, because that's kind of what I'm wondering is where do we go building into Mania out of this match?
I don't think they're going to be Mania, bro.
You don't think either are going to make it to Mania?
I don't think so, bro. We'll see.
Like, selling the injury or just, like, don't make it on the show, but are, like, still on TV here and there?
Injury, probably. Selling injury.
I could get behind it potentially just because of how packed this Mania card is going to be with the Cena retirement stuff and all that other shit. Like, there could be a pretty packed card. Maybe it makes it easier to book if you just kind of pull two of those guys, put them on ice just for the year, and kind of let this be their Mania moment in a weird way. But I'm 50-50 on it. I'm 50-50 on it because obviously, like, I do still want to see these guys out there. I'm a fan of both, but that's a way that you can make it work. Like, I could potentially get behind that depending on how it plays out long term. But that's an interesting. Okay. So you're saying long term, post Mania, after they come back from injury, Sami and Karrion Kross. What about Kevin Owens? Does he come back as a heel still? Does he come back kind of reformed? Like, would that end Kevin Owens' heel run? Would that kind of shake him out of his shit, make him realize he's been being a fucking asshole?
I don't know, man.
Or does he come back an even bigger piece of shit?
Even a bigger piece of shit. I feel like he's probably going to take out Sami for like a few months. He's probably going to do some shit where he fucks him up and shit.
So you think they come back from injury and then he takes out Sami again and puts Sami back on the shelf? That's where you lose me. I could see them both being hurt, like, kind of through Mania to sell the match. But then KO coming back just to hurt Sammy again is crazy. Because then you've got Sammy out for, like, half the year, basically. Can't have Sammy out for, like, 6 months. Just for kayfabe.
That's heel KO, bro.
Nah.
He's a piece of shit, bro.
I feel like you overdid it with a few months. Maybe, like, a couple weeks. Like, that's more realistic WWE, bro.
Okay.
That's how long they be out when they be hitting the power drivers on each other and shit. Maybe something like that. So then you just think we get back to KO and Sammy again?
Probably. That's probably the fucking want the fucking round 2s and shit.
Okay. I like your pitch for the match. Your pitch for everything after, I'm a little more suspicious of. But
Amen.
I think that the match itself almost, I don't want to say this because it kind of jinxes it, but it's like, it almost can't miss as a match. Just because of how good the build has been and how good these guys both are.
And like you said, they're fucking hometown, bro. They're gonna
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, the stars have aligned for what should be an instant classic. We will see, but Sammy and KO, I cannot fucking wait, man. I cannot fucking wait.
El Generico. The fucking was fucking.
I saw some people floating that idea that it would be cool if KO came out with like the mask on or like with some merch or something like that. If that fucking happens, I'm gonna lose my shit. That'd be the coolest thing ever. Coolest fucking thing ever. But we'll see. I don't know, bro, because that guy El Generico, I'm pretty sure he's retired.
I think that fool died, actually.
That's what I heard, is that he's low-key, like, dead and retired at the same time. So, R.I.P.
That fool got diabetes off maple syrup, bird.
Yeah, bro. That shit's crazy. It's such a shame that he never got to meet that fool Sami Zayn. I heard that El Generico really inspired that fool Sami Zayn, but they never crossed paths. What you gonna do? Cold world. Wear a coat.
Before I go.
You feel me? Time to get into the big ones here. Let's start off with the women's chamber. I will go ahead and run you through the competitors just to get everyone refreshed. We have Liv Morgan, new tag team champion. Bianca Belair, former tag team champion. Alexa Bliss. Bayley. Naomi, former tag team champion. And Roxanne Perez. That is the field for the women's elimination chamber match. The winner of this match will be facing presumably Rhea Ripley. They're trying to sell the Io Sky match on this last episode of Raw. They're like, oh, it still kind of hangs in the balance. In my heart, I'm hoping that we still find a way to like maybe make it a triple threat between Rhea, Io, and whoever wins the chamber or something like that. I think there could maybe be interference in the match or something that maybe makes it to where Io has a case that like, oh, she still deserves a shot. Something like that.
It leads to that person who interfered wins the fucking chamber or something.
Well, the chamber match is before, so it'd be like the winner of the chamber maybe comes out to interfere, something like that. I could see that, but we'll see. Obviously, that we will talk about later if it does happen. Women's chamber match itself. Where are we going, man? I feel like, honestly, there's no clear favorites in this match. Like, there's a pretty even field, barring maybe a couple of people. Like, I don't really think there's a super high chance that Bayley wins just the way that her kind of stories have been going lately. It would just feel really out of nowhere. And with all due respect to Naomi, she's kind of the Robin in that tag team and everything like that just ended.
Yeah.
If anyone from that tag team was gonna win, it would more than likely be Bianca. So what that really leaves us with is Liv Morgan, Bianca, Alexa, and Roxanne. To me, is like your potential winners. And I think there's kind of like a valid case to be made for any of the four. Some stronger than others. Like, if we whittle it down to those four, what do you feel about that when we look at just those four? Who sticks out to you as like the favorites from that group? Or as people that you just think don't really have as much of a chance? Out of Liv, Bianca, Alexa, and Roxanne.
Oof. Liv, Bianca, Roxanne, and who else?
Alexa.
Honestly, too soon for Alexa, honestly. I feel like she's
Okay.
probably be too soon. I should probably eliminate it somewhere before her, but officially be like last 3 maybe.
I just feel like she hasn't been like fully reintroduced yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's fair, yeah. It does feel a little early.
Probably some bullshit's gonna happen to Liv.
I feel like that makes sense. Just why are we gonna run back Liv versus Rhea? We've done it to death over the last year. It's not that like we can never do it again. It's just we gotta wait.
And I feel like Roxanne's fairy tale little run is gonna continue for this one.
Yeah?
I feel like, bro, she's been cooking lately, bro.
Between her and Bianca?
Yup. She's been facing all the the big ones so far and shit.
Yeah. No, she's been looking strong so far. Every time they've brought her up recently for the main roster stuff, they've been presenting her as a big deal. I do think that that's a very realistic possibility. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. As much as I could understand why Bianca would be like the favorite and the more popular choice. Huge star. Her versus Rhea would be an epic match. And like I certainly wouldn't be upset if Bianca won it all. It's not like a thing where I think it would be the wrong choice. It wouldn't be anything like that. I just think that Bianca's going to end up being tied up in everything with Jade, and just makes more sense to go in that direction. Like, I think I'd rather see like a Bianca versus Jade, or even a triple threat with Naomi in there. I think that would be really interesting versus having Bianca versus Rhea this year. Like, you can still get to Bianca versus Rhea down the line at WrestleMania at some point and make that a big match.
Yeah.
But this momentum that Roxanne is on, you only get one chance to like debut her to the fans, and she's been just doing nothing but going up this year. If she loses, that kind of stifles that momentum a bit. I feel like this would be a great way to like really cement that push and bring her up to the main roster, and like, okay, you're here now. And even if she loses at Mania, I still think it's a great spot for her to be in, and establishes her as a threat on the main roster. And it can continue either that rivalry going forward, or she just stays atop the women's division somewhere in the main event picture. But like, it's a win-win scenario no matter who actually wins the match at Mania to me, if you get Roxanne in there. And so for that, like, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think that Roxanne Perez is the strongest pick for the women's chamber. Man.
We'll see, man. Interesting.
I know it's kind of crazy that both
man.
of us are going for like the recent NXT call up here, but
she's just been cooking, and the push they're giving her, bro, is just like,
it just all makes sense. Like, the timing of it all lines up. It feels like this could be the moment to like really strap the rocket to her back and see how far you could take this thing. Let's do it, dude. Fuck it.
hey, man. Definitely gotta shout out one of my favorite moments from her recently, when she like fucking Nikki Bella was doing the push-ups, and then she started doing them and shit like that.
In the Rumble, yeah, that was awesome, bro. No, exactly. Like, she's shown those like good character moments in the matches. Like, I feel like she's shown that wisdom kind of beyond her years, as far as just being an entertainer in the ring. Like, it's not just all about the moves. It's about everything else that goes along with it.
Yo.
And she's got it for sure. She's got it. Let's see it, bro.
Yo.
Roxanne to win the Rumble. Fuck it.
The Rumble?
Oh, shit. The Chamber. Fuck it. And the Rumble.
Fuck it, man. Run it back.
Run it back. Next year's. This is the big one. This is the big one right here. Cody Rhodes is awaiting his challenger for the WWE Championship. Top babyface in the company. So whoever wins this chamber match, like, this is the match for Mania. The stakes could not be higher. The competitors in the field are going to be Seth freaking Rollins, Damian Priest,
Yep.
Logan bitch ass Paul,
Yep. Somehow.
Drew McIntyre,
Yep.
CM Punk,
Yep.
and John
Juan Cena.
Juan Cena. That is a pretty stacked field, bar one. But regardless, Chambers tend to have that type of stuff. I've gone back and watched some of the Chamber matches for fun recently, and there's usually an oddball. That just tends to happen. So, this year our oddball happens to be a YouTuber. Is what it is. Is what it is. But of the actual competitors...
It was the same last year.
Exactly. No, exactly. So, of the actual competitors, the 5, true contenders that we have in this match, it gets tough, man. There's so many different directions that this could all go. This is a fascinating elimination chamber to me in the same way that the Rumble was fascinating because the roster's just so stacked with main event players on the men's side right now.
It's such a good era right now, bro.
It is such a peak era. And because of that, you just have so many guys that you're like, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Everyone besides Logan in this match is a realistic, I could kind of see it. Even Damian, as much as that might seem far-fetched, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And that's what's so great about this current era of WWE is so much feels like it could happen. Shit like Jay winning the Rumble, as controversial as it was, it's exciting that that type of random shit could come out of nowhere. So with that in mind, looking at this field, it's really tough to break down what I feel like is going to happen. As much as I was just saying that Damian is a potential winner, that's one of the first guys that I kind of rule out. Just as much as it's possible, the way that they book him is so strong. But it's just a lot to throw at him right now. It doesn't feel like that's where... It doesn't feel like that's the direction that we're going to be going. So I could kind of rule out Damian pretty early. It gets fucking tricky from there, man. It gets tricky. It gets tricky. Because you could convince me, very legitimately that any of the other 4 win, and I'm, fully in agreement.
Wait, who are you down to right now?
Cena, Punk, Drew, and Seth.
You think Logan Paul's going to get eliminated early?
I'm not necessarily saying he's going to get eliminated early. I'm talking about potential winners.
Okay.
I don't think Logan or Damian... I don't see them winning the match.
Okay.
And that's left me with these 4 that I could very much see winning the match for different reasons. So when we boil it down to that, how do you feel?
You said Seth freaking Rollins, Juan Cena, CM Punk,
And Drew McIntyre.
Definitely gotta... honestly, I feel like Seth's gonna get fucked by Drew.
Okay. That's something I could see.
It's probably gonna start some type of beef there or some shit again.
Something like that, yeah.
It's definitely probably gonna be a rematch, probably from Mania last year, some type of shit.
I don't know about a Mania rematch, but I could just see something along the lines of Seth getting fucked over by either Drew or Punk, something like that. Just kind of the general vibe of Seth getting fucked over, I could see that, yeah. Because it feels like a good way to get Seth out of it and get some sort of feud going forward. Maybe even Logan fucking over Seth. And just to get Seth out of there and have it be heel heat for Logan. I could see something like that happening. Okay, so you've now got it down to Cena, Punk, and Drew.
I feel they're probably gonna do some dope shit where fucking Punk fucking does the go to sleep or some shit, and then the fucking Cena hits the 5 knuckle shuffle and probably fucking pins fucking Drew or some shit like that. So it can be the both of them or some shit at the end. Or
some big combo shit. Okay.
Some cool shit like that just to show oh, they're the fucking OGs and shit like that.
Okay.
Just have a little throwback moment and shit.
So you think we boil it down to Cena and Punk as your final 2?
Yep.
So let me just interject and say that if this does happen and we get to Cena and Punk as the final 2, I don't care. what happens from there. I don't give a fuck. I truly don't. Because, like, it's great no matter... I said this, I think, during the Rumble prediction video. Where it was like, if we could just get to somehow the final two being Cena and Punk, I could die happy.
I definitely did feel that this situation is a lot more realistic for
I'm hoping that it's more on the table now. And I thought it was really likely going into the Rumble, but apparently not. But... now more than ever, it feels like that now is the time to give us that big
time is now, bro.
Punk scene. Yeah, the time is now. Fuck, how perfect. So if we get to that, which I think we're both in agreement that no matter how we get there, that is the destination we want to arrive at, is the Punk Cena stare down. The fuck happens next, Lise? In your fantasy booking prediction mind? Where do we go from there?
Oh.
They have the stare down. They both look at the Mania sign. And then what happens?
We're going to get a good fucking probably 15, 20 minutes. Probably the best scene.
You think that long?
I hope so.
I would love to see it. I don't know if it's realistic,
if Cena was
talking
the shit that he was talking during that press conference, that's what I want to see.
That would be honestly epic if it like just ended up giving us like a mini single. That's not even a mini, like just a full length singles match at the end of the match between Punk and Cena.
Almost like a Hell in a Cell type of deal too, because
that would be insane. That would be legitimately insane. But then who goes over?
Cena.
Really?
I think it's Cena's time.
Cena versus Cody at Mania?
Nope.
Okay. Is Cena the final boss's champ? Does he, like, take the corporate Rock offer?
I don't know. Maybe Cody. Who knows?
So you think heel Cody face Cena, main event night 2, Mania 41?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think the more likely option would be reversed and heel Cena face Cody.
I don't know.
I just don't see a heel Cody existing in 2025.
It might be a fucking...
I'm not saying I'm fully against it. I just don't think it's likely to happen at all. I disagree that is a likely possibility.
It might be a thing where like, this is where like Cody has to rebuild and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because he supposedly has everything right now. And what if he turns his back on everything? Fucking WrestleMania happens. Boom, boom, boom. Cena wins. And fucking he has fucking nothing now because The Rock is just going to dip again on him.
Can I walk you through how I want to see it play out? Because this shit it stretches out a bit. But let me walk you through my fantasy book. Final 2, Cena and Punk. Punk beats Cena. Cena crashes out even harder. After he lost the Rumble, he started to kind of show that. Crashes out even harder. He's the guy who goes to The Rock, tries to align with The Rock and convince him. And imagine the cinema of this segment. Cena and The Rock in the ring together. Cena convincing The Rock that he's the guy that will be The Rock's corporate champion and elevate the WWE, blah, 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 all that stuff. The Rock and Cena align. Final Boss uses his TKO magical powers to insert Cena into the Mania main event. And we have a triple threat, heel Cena versus Punk versus Cody. Punk still wins. Pins heel Cena. Heel Cena realizes that he's become a bad guy that he never wanted to become, that he was going about it the wrong way, that loss made his eyes open, and we get back to face Cena. Renewed face Cena. I'm sorry face Cena. And we get super face Cena versus champion Punk SummerSlam. Because they're trying to make SummerSlam a big deal. This is the first year of 2-night SummerSlam. And we get night 2 of SummerSlam main event, Cena beating Punk for the championship.
Wow.
I think that'd be fucking awesome. I know that's a lot. I know I just put a lot on the table. But I think it'd be fucking awesome.
Bro. I wasn't even thinking about
I went deep. I went deep.
Respect it.
I went far out.
I respect it.
How do you feel about it?
I respect it, bro. But
you like it?
I like it, but I still think it might be...
You think I'm wrong?
No, I just think it might be the Cody rebuild.
So you think Cody's gonna go heel?
Yeah.
You're confident on that?
I think so.
Percentage it for me.
Like 70.
70% chance that Cody says yes to The
Yeah.
Rock at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
You're wild. You're wild. I'd give it tops, like maximum chance I'd give it 20%. Maximum. I think it's like maybe possible, but like almost certainly not. I'd maybe even give it 10.
Oh shit.
I'd maybe even give it 10%, man. Shit. I just don't see a heel Cody. This is now almost even more interesting than if any of our match predictions are gonna come out, because we're so on opposite sides of this Cody thing. And I can't wait to be
See
right.
what happens.
Well, I'm gonna be right.
Yeah,
That's what's
sure.
gonna happen.
Shit, man. I'm the writer for WWE. The fuck?
This fool thinks he has the script. This shit.
I do, bro.
So, just to confirm, you have Cena winning
Yeah.
and going up against a heel Cody in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I have Punk winning.
Yeah.
And then ending up in a triple threat against heel Cena and Cody.
That would be a fire ass fucking take. I would be like so sad. My inner child. Like,
Yeah.
The fuck, man.
No, part of me is also like kind of even almost angry at myself for pitching it, because part of me doesn't want to see heel Cena. But I mean, we talked about it earlier. Ideally, my choice for The Rock's guy is Drew McIntyre. But if I'm just isolating it and looking at this men's chamber match, it feels like that's a good way to get out of this, where everyone still gets their big Mania match and we still get to tell a good story along the way without, having to do too much, having to fuck too much up. It'll be interesting. I think the biggest challenge there was, will people actually boo Cena? I don't know. He'd have to go like really heel. We'll have to see, but I just think that that's an interesting way to see the match play out, man. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, CM Punk winning the title at Mania. I'm still holding on to the dream of somehow, some way, we get to CM Punk winning the title at Mania this year. That's the dream. Fuck it. Excited for Chamber. It's gonna be a good one.